What's good, everyone? We are back with week 12, episode number 12 of the Slot Podcast. We are so happy to bring you guys all this information, all this analysis every single week. And it's been a great start to the season so far. We had some crazy upsets last week, some pretty bad injuries, too, and just a lot going on right now in the league as far as moving parts. So a lot of good matchups this week. Just to break down what we're going to be going over in this week of the Slot Podcast, we're going to start with power rankings. Obviously, to start it off, week 3 power rankings. Go through our top 10 teams in the league. Break down what happened in week 3. Go over some things that we missed, some things that we were correct on, and then dive into week 4. It's going to be a great week of football. We have actually quite a few really good matchups this week, and we'll end off with some fantasy football sleepers for those guys who stay till the end. Super excited. Adam, what you got for us this week?
Not much. I mean, kind of just want to jump into the power rankings.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I had a lot of changes in my top 10. I don't know about you.
yeah, I think I had a couple like Baltimore definitely fell down for me. I mean, just a horrible performance. I mean, if you were watching that game, Lamar Jackson, there's no reason you should be getting sacked 7 times in one game.
That wasn't Lamar's fault though. That old line killed him. All right, well, no,
But
well
even
he did.
still,
Yeah.
you're considered to be the most mobile QB in the
hmm
NFL.
hmm
Use your legs. There were so many instances where he had the lane, he could have ran it downfield for at least a 5 yard gain, maybe a first down, and he didn't do it. But I'm just gonna jump straight into my power rankings. I'm just gonna go top 10. Number one, Buffalo Bills. Number two, Detroit Lions. Number three, Philadelphia Eagles. Number four, Los Angeles Chargers. Number five, Baltimore Ravens. Number six, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number seven, Los Angeles Rams. Number eight, Green Bay Packers. Number nine, Indianapolis Colts. And then number 10, the Washington Commanders.
Solid list. I'm surprised the Commanders made the list, but they did win just without JD5, and they fell off of mine even though I had them at 9. I think just
The
for the reasons that I thought the other teams played better than them that I have in my top 10.
See, it's the opposite for me. I mean, I just thought that there's no one else on the list I really could put over them. I mean, at 11 and 12, I have 11, 12, 13. I have the Niners, Cardinals, and Seahawks. So it would just be one of
Yeah.
those teams. And one of those teams are definitely going to overtake and get into the top 10 by next week.
That's fair. I'm gonna run through my list. So my week 3 NFL power rankings is gonna be Bills at number 1, Philadelphia Eagles at number 2, Los Angeles Chargers at number 3, Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in at number 4, Detroit Lions at number 5, Baltimore Ravens at number 6, Los Angeles Rams at number 7. The Packers come in at number 8. The Niners follow right behind at number 9. And to close out our top 10 power rankings, Indianapolis Colts come in with Indiana Jones at number 10.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried that the Colts wouldn't be there. I mean, it's crazy to say that. I mean, especially like now, it's so crazy to say that the Colts are a top 10 team in the NFL, considering their track record. But I mean, we're seeing great things from Daniel Jones. We're seeing great things from Jonathan Taylor, who is going to have an amazing game this week.
Yeah, that's kind of a trend that we've been seeing in the NFL recently. The revival of quarterback careers. Baker Mayfield started it off. Sam Darnold continued on last year. It's looking like Daniel Jones is that guy this season, especially with 3 wins under his belt and the rest of the division looking honestly horrible. The rest of the division is 1-8, and Daniel Jones is
Yeah,
3 and
it's insane. I mean, the Texans have just been doing abysmal. So
0.
I have them going 0 and 4.
I believe I have them winning this week, but it's a close one. Like I think it's going to be really close between the two
No, no,
teams.
never mind. I'm wrong. I have them going one 1 and 3. That's
One
crazy.
and
I
three
mean,
for CJ Stroud.
that's crazy. I mean, he was getting so much praise rookie year, sophomore year. He was a little bit worse, but he was still that guy for the Texans. But now it looks like he's fallen off the face of the earth. And you could blame the O line. You can't blame his weapons. I mean, you got Nick Chubb, you got Nico Collins, you got Jaden Higgins. I mean, he has everything he needs. The defense is solid. So, I mean, it's kind of all just depending on him and this O line
100%.
as of
This is
now.
all on
But
CJ Stroud.
But I think we can jump into the schedule predictions for this week.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to just talk about some of the things that happened last week. Like as far as
Yeah.
the Green Bay Packers and Cleveland Browns game, what do you think of that and the outcome?
Oh my God. That was just See, as someone from Chicago, that's so beautiful to me. Just seeing the Packers lose like that. my God. There's two teams that I hate the most. Like I have pure, genuine hatred for these two teams. The San Francisco 49ers, absolutely hate them. And the Green Bay Packers. I absolutely hate these two teams. Whenever I see them lose, it just brings me so much joy. So I'm glad that the Browns got their first win, and I'm glad that the Packers got their first loss. And honestly, that was just horrible, like just horrible football by the Packers. We saw Matthew Golden absolutely burn the corner, and then he decides to run it out of bounds when he had a wide open lane to the end zone. And I think that was a big contributor to why they lost that game. And also the way Jordan Love played, he could have done a lot of things to help shift the game and it's more in their momentum. Because when you're playing the Cleveland Browns, there's no reason that the games should be that close. Like you lost to a field goal and not even that, it was a blocked field goal. So you lost by pure luck. And I mean, as someone from Chicago, like I said, it's a beautiful thing to see. Love to see it.
I think it had a lot to do with
And
the
the
Browns
Bears won.
defense.
Come on, this is a great week.
The Bears
Seahawks
had a
won,
good win.
Bears won. It would have been so much better if the Niners had lost, man. See, look at the
No, but
Niners, man. They're
I
always
still think
ruining
the
everything.
Browns defense is crazy though. Like
No,
they
dude, have did you see Miles Garrett?
yeah,
Did
bro,
you
he's
see Miles Garrett?
insane.
I think it's safe to defensive player in the league right now. I don't I don't want to hear the Micah Parsons propaganda. I mean, the only person I
Yeah,
put
he's
up
not
there
there right
with
now, yeah.
Miles Garrett, the only person I'll put up there with Miles Garrett is PS2, but he's been having an off year so far.
Well,
So
Nick Bosa was having a crazy year, then he tore his ACL. So
yeah,
Miles Garrett, yeah, I would
I
say
mean,
Miles Garrett's probably firmly in first place for defensive player of the year right
dude,
now.
the way he was just absolutely dogging this Packers O line was insane, bro. I
It
saw
was
him jump like
ridiculous.
5 yards across just to get around the O lineman. It was insane. I mean, I don't have his stats pulled up, but they were probably crazy.
Bro, there were so many so many special teams and defensive plays last
Oh,
week
that was
that
insane.
were just
Hey,
nuts.
who's our guy that went 95 yards for a touchdown?
Do we gotta say it? Do we even need to say it anymore?
Tune into like week 8 or something, like before even start season even started. You'll hear it.
I actually I just went back and rewatched our I believe episode 5 where we talked about breakout stars. We mentioned Torrey Horton way back then, and actually I think even before that. So this
I
guy's
can't
just a
remember.
stud, man. He's just a stud.
And look who was my breakout guy? Who was my rookie of the year candidate? And how did he perform? What's his stats looking like?
I think his name is the GOAT, also known
Emeka
as
Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka. That was Adam's call of the
Bro,
season. My guy was Torrey. Adam's guy was Emeka Egbuka. Who leads the league in touchdowns for rookies? Emeka Egbuka and
Emeka
Torrey Horton.
Egbuka.
It's
Yo,
beautiful,
we
man.
like, come on, bro. Tune into the slot pod, bro. You're gonna get elite takes like this. Come on.
Tune into the Slot Podcast. We also told you guys about Elik Eilmaner or Rondé Gadsden. I don't know what to tell you guys. If you need breakout players who are probably on the waiver wire right now, go check out episode 5. It was where we talked about breakout stars in the NFC and the AFC. Honestly, great episode. So go check that out. But
Yeah, because I got Emeka Egbuka and I have him in probably like 3 leagues right now. And I got him in like I'd say like the eighth, ninth, maybe 10th round in all of those. Like he wasn't someone people were looking at like, oh, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be the number one guy in Tampa Bay. They got Mike Evans and Chris Scott. Dude, come on. It's Emeka Egbuka. OSU, wide receiver university. Come
wait,
on.
can I pause you real quick? I just got a notification in my Dynasty League that a trade went down, and I want to know your thoughts on it. Cam
All right, let me hear it.
Scatterbo for Caleb Johnson.
I mean, see, whoever got Cam Scatterbo is 100% winning that
Yeah,
because
like why would you do that?
I don't think Caleb Johnson is getting playtime after he missed that punt return or kickoff return, whatever it was. Like that was
Someone's
just
already trying to
horrible.
veto. That's horrible.
Yeah, that was just horrible. That is probably the worst trade I've ever seen. I want to read you out some of the trade requests I've gotten, but let me pull it up real quick. Mm, this is one of them. I want to hear what you think. Someone offered me Devontae Smith and Matthew Golden for Quentin Johnson and Rome Odunze
Devontae Smith and who? And Matthew
and
Golden.
Matthew Golden.
See, the thing is, I like value wise, based on who the players are, it's a fair trade, but not based on production. Like
Ex-
Quentin Johnston is going federal right now. I would say you got to get more value for Johnston. And who was the other guy?
It was Quentin Johnson and Rome
Yeah,
Odunze.
Rome's also a top 10 receiver. There's no shot you could do that right now, but like
Exactly.
name wise, it's not a bad trade, but overall, just you could definitely get a lot more than that.
This guy really wants Rome Odunze. He proposed three different trades with Rome Odunze.
All right, let's get back to last week. Another game that I was watching that I was surprised by, but surprised by how quick it was over was the Seahawks Saints game. Like that was over in the first like 3 minutes of the game. What'd you think of
Bro,
your team?
we had 21 in the first 6 minutes
Yeah,
of the game. And I don't know what people expected. Did you expect it to be like the bum Niners and the bum Cardinals where they struggled to get over them by 1 or 2 scores? Like, no, we're not doing that. We're gonna get 44 on their head. Torrey Horton's gonna go for 95 yards, get two
two
touchdowns.
tutties.
Jason's gonna get a touchdown, 94 yards. I think it was off 4 or 5 receptions, which which is
It was
insane.
5 receptions for 94 yards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as of right now, no one's messing with the Seahawks. I mean, the Niners, that was a fluke game. Tariq Woolen sold, and we literally lost because of a fumble. So, I mean, that would be the same thing as holding the Ravens loss against the Lions yesterday against them because of Derrick Henry's fumble.
Speaking of which, 3 fumbles in 3 games. What are we thinking about our boy King Henry?
I mean, he's dropping down in my rankings 100%. Like, come on. You've been in the league for so long. You're about to lead in so many different stats. You're 100% a Hall of Famer, and we're dropping the ball every game. And it's only week 3, which I mean, this can't be happening because okay, you won week 2, but you lost week 1 and 3 because of the fumbles.
Because of the fumbles, exactly. That was the only reason they lost both games.
And I guess last week you could say that he got blindsided by Aiden Hutchinson, which is what happened. Aiden Hutchinson was behind him. He punched the ball out, and the Lions recovered. But I mean, still, it's just if you look at that on paper, it's just horrible. Like you don't want to see that, especially older. That's going to ruin your fantasy production by so much.
Yeah, 100%. And he's not looking great in terms of fantasy. Like I think he's like the RB 20 something. So
Yeah,
um
I mean, week 2 he had around 2 points, 2.3,
yeah,
I
he
think.
had 30 the first week and they went for like 2 and 7.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, if Derrick Henry is going to be inconsistent like this, I would say it's time to retire within the next few years. Maybe this would be your last contract because I don't want to see him ruin his legacy and put up like only 500 yards one season
I want to
if
see
he
him break
just
all the
has
records,
a
man.
crazy
He's
decline.
on pace for it.
He's on pace for it, but I mean, he might end up breaking the fumble record at this point.
One more team I want to touch on in terms of fumbles is the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson both fumbled last week, and they still didn't give Travion Henderson the ball. So at
That's
this point,
insane.
what are we doing with the rookie running back that we drafted in the second round? And this is what I mean about timeline. I said the same thing about the Raiders as well. Why not just commit to a specific timeline, whether it's committing to your young guys or committing to being a veteran win now team? Why go one or the other? Have your running back be a older veteran win now type of guy and your quarterback is a young 22-year-old guy. Your receivers are Diggs who's 35 years old and then you have a slew of receivers behind him who are younger and it's like just decide, pick a path. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the middle forever. And that's where the Raiders currently are. That's where the Patriots are headed if they don't pick a direction. And maybe that comes after this season, which is not necessarily the worst thing, but the way I see it, let the young guns go. Let do what the Giants did. Just take the guy out. I mean, Russell Wilson is not some horrible quarterback in terms of history and in terms of past production, but they took him out because they want to let their young rook gun it. They want him to throw it down the field. So I say do the same thing with Trayvon Henderson. But what did you think of the fumbles and what did you think? What do you think of Trayvon Henderson?
I mean, we saw him do amazing in preseason. I mean, everyone thought he was going to be the number one guy there. And then you see two other running backs on the same team fumble the ball. and then you still don't put him in. So, I mean, like you said, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you have a guy, he's solid. We know this. We know he's solid. He was solid in college. He was solid in preseason. Give him a chance in the regular season, especially when the guys you have in front of him are letting you down. I mean, it just that's the obvious choice to make right now. I don't understand.
That's crazy. And then you see guys like Marion Hampton, who literally took an injury to the number one running back in order to get them the production that they needed. And he started popping off in the second half of that game. So, speaking of which, we can hop into the week four schedule predictions. I just want to shout out a few of my guys who will not be returning this season. James Conner, Najee Harris. This is a message to you both. Please come back next year. We need you in the league. James Conner, especially. I cannot have you retiring on my fantasy dynasty football team on my bench. Please come back, Mr. Connor. Also, shout out Trey Benson, who is going to have an incredible end to the season because he's just a beast.
There are a few things I wanted to point out before we
Sure.
jump in. This was a great week for rookies. I mean, we had Amarion Hampton go crazy. We had Torrey Horton go crazy. We had Emeka Buka go crazy. There's a couple other names I'm forgetting. But I mean, rookies have been going crazy for this season, and I'm all here for it. You know, we love the young guys. We love these young players. They are so tough, bro. Especially Emeka Buka. I love Emeka Buka.
Mecca Egbuka and Torrey Horton and Quinshawn Judkins. I'm adding Quinshawn Judkins to my favorites list. We're past the court case. Don't gotta talk about it anymore. The man is a beast. All right, yo. So I was listening to our Breakout Stars podcast, whatever episode 5, like I said, and I think it was your breakout player for the Cleveland Browns was Quinshon Judkins, and you said that he could potentially be the next Marshawn Lynch or like Marshawn Lynch light. So what do you think about that now that we're 3 weeks into the season? He's gotten some touches under his belt.
I got to see some more from him. I mean, I want to see like beast mode production. I want to see beast mode play style. I want to see beast mode touchdowns. I want to see beast mode touchdown celebrations. That's what I want to see before I can actually give him that label. But because you know how I feel about Marshawn Lynch. You know I love that guy.
That's your
That's
guy.
one of my
Yeah,
favorite players.
can't blame
One of
you.
my favorite players of all time. But I do think Quinshon Judkins has that potential. I feel like that would be his ceiling. I mean, to get to the level of someone like Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, most definitely. Um, all right. Well, I think we can just jump into week four. We have a lot of big games this week in terms of like divisional matchups and teams that are 0 and 3. Like there's quite a big difference between being 0 and 3 and 0 and 4. And as you continue to progress down the season, like you just have to win games. Like CJ Stroud has got to win games. Otherwise, I don't know what they do.
Yeah, see, something I will say is for teams like the Bears, teams like the Texans, and just kind of these teams that are hovering between being good and being very mediocre. Getting a win last week was very important. Like the Bears got their win. They're good for now because they're not going to start off the season 0 and 3 and then may potentially go to 0 and 4. So they got their win. I'd say if the Bears went 0 and 3, then their season is going to start to look very shaky. The Texans are over 0 and 3. So I mean, their season is already very, very shaky. I guess like if you're a Texans fan, I would be worried. People are saying the
Yeah.
panic meter should be at like a medium and 5. No, the panic meter should be at a level 8.
Yeah, I'd
It
say
should be a
level eight
level 8,
too.
level 9. Because I mean, this is a team that dominated the division for the past 3 years, and now they're struggling. I mean, they're
Daniel
probably going to
James
lose out to
snatched
the
your
Colts.
chain, bro. Daniel Jones snatched your chain,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. So, I mean, if I was a Texans fan, I would be worried. I mean, it's not looking good as of now. I mean, they could very well, very easily turn the season around, especially if they farm wins off of the Titans and I'm blanking on the other teams in that division and the
Yeah,
Jaguars. If they farm wins off of them, they already lost. I think they already lost to the Jags once. I can't remember if they played them or not. But I mean,
they lost them last week.
we'll
Yeah.
see. They might go 3 and what 3-12, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like if the Colts weren't 3-0, I'd probably be less panicked, like if I was the Texans. But the Colts are 3-0, which puts you in such a big hole over the next like 6 weeks. And then you really got to recover to try to win the division. And if you don't win that division, you're not making the playoffs. Like you're not going to make the playoffs
100%. The
There's no
AFC
other
has
team from
too
that
many
division.
teams.
Yeah, there's no shot anyone else makes it from that division. So,
Yeah, because from the other divisions, I mean, the Steelers are pretty much guaranteed to make it, so that's one.
mhm.
The Chiefs are probably going to
And the
make
Ravens
it.
are in the Steelers division, which means the Steelers are get a wild card
Yeah,
spot.
exactly. So that's one wild card spot gone. I'd say either the Chargers and Broncos or Chargers and Chiefs make it as well. So it's two
Hmm.
wild card spots
And then
gone.
the Seahawks
So I
Niners.
mean, wrong conference.
And then someone else. I am just thinking too much about the Seahawks Niners because I think that the Niners take the division. So, you know, yeah, this guy hates me right now. Anyways,
Yo, the
yeah,
Niners
definitely.
taking the
So,
division,
are we
bro.
officially
They might lose
stamping
to
the
the Cardinals, bro.
Texans?
Come on.
Huh?
The Niners might lose the division to the Cardinals, bro.
So the Seahawks are still not winning the division, is what you're telling me.
No, I'm saying it's gonna be Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, Niners.
Um, so are we officially stamping that the Texans are not making the playoffs? Can we stamp that right now?
Mm, see, I don't want to do that just because it's the Indianapolis Colts.
That's fair, but let's look at the Texans' rest of schedule. All right, let's see. We got
Yeah, I can decide if I hear the rest of the schedule, and then I'll make it.
they all right, all right. If the Texans lose this week, there is a good chance they start out 0-7. All right, they have the Ravens after the Titans. They got the Seahawks
Loss,
after that, the Niners after
loss,
that. Hold up.
win,
Broncos after that. They might start 0-8, and
loss.
then they've got the Jaguars, the Titans. Okay, so two okay matchups. Then you got the Bills gone. Then the Colts. So Sunday, November 30th. What week is that? That's 7 plus. So that's week 12 is going to be the most important week for the Texans in this season. And then they close out the season not too bad, but still play the Chiefs and the Chargers. Bro, I'm gonna stamp it right now. The Texans are not making the playoffs. The Texans are not winning more than 7 games this season.
I
If
mean, I
that.
don't hate that. I don't hate
If
that at
that.
all.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you said Seahawks, you said Ravens, you said Baltimore, or you said Buffalo. I mean, that's
And
already very
Kansas
tough.
City and the Chargers. That's an extra
Kansas
five
City, they
L's.
can beat.
All
Kansas
right,
City,
we'll
they can
see
beat.
about KC. You know what? We're gonna see how you're feeling about KC later on in the season. All right, my
Yo,
guy Patty Mahomes is gonna make a comeback. And do you know who my pick for the 2025 Super Bowl is? 2026 Super Bowl is? Do you by any chance know at this point? So I
no,
gotta say it
I know it
again.
very well. I know it very well. You saying that the Chiefs are gonna win, and that's just bad takes. Come on, that's bad takes. Look at
If
the
you
way they've
didn't
been
know it
playing.
already, now you know. The Kansas City Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl this season.
Dude, that's bad takes, bro. Come on, listen. Mahomes doesn't have receivers until week six.
He got
Okay,
one
he,
next
d-
week.
he doesn't have receivers until week six. I'm gonna say it again. Okay, he doesn't have receivers until week six.
You are forgetting
All right,
about Tyquan Thornton. What did I text you about Tyquan Thornton?
I'm gonna say it once more. Mahomes does not have a receiver until week six, bro. What are we talking about? Listen. So that's until week six. All of his games are 50-50. I'd say 45-50 in the other team's favor, depending on who they're playing.
All right,
I
we'll
mean,
get into
dude,
Baltimore and KC.
we saw them struggle against the Giants. I mean, they won at the end, but they still
That's
struggled for
not
3 quarters.
struggling. That ain't struggling. All right,
You got
struggling.
limited to 2 field goals in like the first three
Yeah,
quarters.
that was a
So I mean,
bad. Did you? I didn't watch that first half at
I was
all.
watching. It was horrible.
I
It was
didn't watch it at all.
such
It's
a
so
bad game. That was
boring.
probably one of the worst games of the season so far.
I was
It just made me
yeah.
so mad. Both teams were playing horrendously, and Russell Wilson decided to throw every ball 55 yards downfield. So I don't know what's going on over there.
All right. Well, I think that was a good recap. Now we can jump into our week 4 schedule predictions. All right, let's jump into week 4. Got some great games this week, and I feel like I was talking to Adam earlier. There aren't a lot of upsets going on this week, but a lot of games that really matter for teams and a lot of teams that have similar records that are matching up. So, Adam, you want to run through your list real quick of who's winning this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna speed through this real quick. Seattle over Arizona easily. I've got Pittsburgh over Minnesota. I got the Commanders beating the Falcons. I got the Bills beating the Saints by 90, and then I have the Chargers beating the Giants. I have a must-win Texans over the Titans. They must win this game. This is a must-win for them. And then Detroit over Cleveland, New England over Carolina. I have the Bucks over Philly. I have the Colts over LA. And then I have the Jaguars over the San Francisco 49ers, Baltimore over KC, Chicago over Las Vegas, Green Bay over Dallas, and then Jets over Dolphins, and then Broncos over the Bengals.
That's solid. I'm surprised. Not really surprised, but I heard you say Jaguars over Niners, so we'll have to jump
We'll
into
get to it.
that.
We'll get we'll get to that. We'll
We'll
get to
get
that.
there.
We'll get to that.
I'm gonna speed run my list as well. I got Seattle over Arizona, Tampa Bay over Philly, big upset. Minnesota over Pittsburgh, Washington over Atlanta. If Jaden Daniels plays, if he doesn't, I have it the other way around. Atlanta over Washington, Buffalo over the Saints, Detroit over Cleveland, Houston, like Adam said, must-win game over the Tennessee Titans, New England over Carolina, Chargers over the Giants, the Rams over the 3-0 Indianapolis Colts, San Francisco Niners over the Jacksonville Jaguars, Baltimore Ravens are gonna take down KC this week. Chicago over the Raiders, Green Bay Packers over the Dallas Cowboys. The Giants are going to beat Dolphins. And for the last game of the week, Monday night, 10 p.m., Denver over Cincinnati. So, like I said, I
I think
mean,
you meant
there's,
Jets over Dolphins.
huh?
Jets over Dolphins.
Jets over Dolphins, yeah. Jets over Dolphins
Yeah,
because Tyrod Taylor is a better quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa.
that's crazy. That's so crazy to say. Oh my God. That's
All
so
right,
crazy.
but can we even really can we say anything
No,
different with how
we can't say
bad
that
Tua
we can't
is?
say yeah, we can't say otherwise. I mean, I've seen so many TikToks, top five worst throws of the week. It's just all Tua.
All
It's
Tua.
so funny.
Dude,
It's
the
so
guy
funny.
has one game plan. It's throw the ball to Devon Achane or throw an interception. That is his entire game
Oh,
plan.
you forgot throw it over
Throw it
Tyreek
over
Hill's
Tyreek's head
head.
at least 3 times a game.
Exactly. I mean, Tua is gonna get benched, cut, traded, something. Something's gonna happen to Tua,
Hey,
and
do
it's
you
not
know
gonna
who his
be good for
backup
him.
is?
Quinn Ewers, bro.
Hey!
If you tune into the slot
That
pod, you know how we feel
guy.
about Quinn Ewers. That is not our guy. That is not that is not our guy.
I was surprised he got drafted, so props to him. If he takes over, all right, if he takes over QB1, do you think he can perform better than Tua, who is pretty much performing at the worst quarterback level you can ever perform at?
Tua Tagovailoa is the new Daniel Jones.
Oh
And
my God.
if if Quinn Ewers starts, he will be the new Daniel Jones or former Daniel Jones. So I mean, like, bro, you're getting outperformed by Carson Wentz and, and Jake Browning outperformed you for a
Jake
game.
Browning.
Tyrod Taylor outperformed you. Like, what are we talking about? Mac Jones outperformed Tua Tagovailoa, who was in playoffs 2 years ago. You're getting outperformed by Mac Jones. Like, what?
Mac Jones is playing better than you, Tua. Step it up.
This is insane, bro. And Jackson Dart is about to play better than you. I mean, we might see Jackson Dart go for a couple touchdowns.
All right, let's get into a couple of the matchups. Some of the big ones that we kind of wanted to go over was obviously Tampa and Philly. We both picked Tampa in a close one over there. Another one I wanted to go over was the Rams and the Colts. I picked the Rams and Adam had the Colts. San Fran and Jax. We'll discuss that and just gloss over a few other games. But yeah, let's get into it. Tampa and Philly. Why'd you pick Tampa?
Dude, honestly, my take on this is that Philly just looks uncoordinated right now. They look like they're they're trying to figure it out, which is really weird. I mean, you just came off one of the most dominant Super Bowl performances we've ever seen. Why does your team look this uncoordinated? Jalen Hurts has not been throwing the ball more than I'd say 15, 20 yards. He's been throwing checkdowns or handing it off to Saquon Barkley. And honestly, I don't think that's sustainable against his Bucks defense, which, like I said this on the TikTok I posted. The Bucks defense is solid. I mean, they're looking really good. So I think I think the only thing Philly will be able to rely on is the legs. I mean, you're gonna have to get Jalen Hurts mobile. You're gonna have to get Saquon extremely mobile to be able to get through this Bucks defense. But I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, Bucks have been looking really solid. I have Baker Mayfield as my number five or number four QB right now. So I mean, Emeka Ibuka's there. Chris Godwin's coming back. I mean, it's looking rough for the Eagles for this game, I would say.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I think that we're along the same lines in this. Buccaneers defense is really elite and joins the Rams and the Browns as my top three defenses in the NFL in terms of power rankings and how the season is going. They really excel in the run game and they force opponents into third and long situations. And then on top of that, they have the fourth lowest opponent conversion percentage on third down. So, the Bucks, this is what they do. They force you into a long third down, then they don't allow you to get the third down. Now, on top of that, on the offensive side, they excel at making things happen on third down, specifically Baker Mayfield just runs like an angry wild man, especially when the game is on the line. You will never catch Baker in a bad situation when the game is on the line.
You know who
Um,
Baker Mayfield is?
cool.
Cam Scatterboo at quarterback.
That is the most accurate thing I've ever heard in my life. Cam's got to be a quarterback, Baker Mayfield. But the Eagles are averaging 3.3 yards per carry, or sorry, better. Saquon is only averaging 3.3 yards per carry on 20 rushes a game, which is not typical for him. And now, like you said, faces a really rough Bucks defense who also has a good secondary with Zion McCollum, the best cornerback in the game, Antoine Winfield Jr., the best ball hawk in the game, and Jamel Dean, who I don't want to talk about. And yeah, it's gonna be. I think it'll be a really close game. I think that's the thing because the Bucks need to figure out their offense because no Evans, potentially no Godwin this week, but I think he'll play. We'll see a lot of Bucky Irving. That's what I will say. We're gonna see a lot of Bucky Irving early and often. I got Tampa coming out 20-17 and best defense in the league.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to say, but we'll just gloss over that. Um, let's jump into Colts Rams. I mean,
Ooh.
honestly, just looking at the game, you have to take the Rams. But I'm loving this Daniel Jones hot streak, man. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm all here for it. And that's why I think he keeps it going. And I'm praying he takes us over the Rams because I mean they're divisional rivals with the Seahawks. I need them to fall. But I mean, other than that, Jonathan Taylor looked amazing. Michael Pittman Jr., he's been looking really good. Tyler Warren looking amazing. Daniel Jones looking amazing. And honestly, like you said, the Rams do have a really good defense, but this is what's looking like a really good offense going against a really good defense. So I'm very excited to see this game.
Yeah, this is going to be yet another close game. And I do like how the Colts have been playing. Indiana Jones, Daniel Jones has stayed extremely hot. He's averaging 272 pass yards a game, which doesn't sound crazy, but now with the new kickoff rules, that is, I believe he's a top five quarterback in the league in pass yards per game. Goes along with a 111.7 QB rating, which is incredible. Has played quite efficiently. But I think the biggest thing for me with the Indianapolis Colts is they have not faced anyone yet. Like they're
That's true.
the combined record of the teams that they've faced so far is 1-8, and we just said the same thing, something similar about how about the Texans. So Daniel Jones is going to have to be at his absolute best to beat this Rams team. And the way I see it, they're just in two different tiers right now. I would say the Rams have Super Bowl aspirations. You got a guy like Stafford at the helm. You got Puka, who's looking like the number one receiver in the league, and you got Blake Corum. I won't mention Kyron Williams because I do not like Kyron Williams, but you got Blake Corum back there. I don't know. I think it's just two different levels of teams, and then when you add the defense on top of it, it makes it pretty uneven in terms of in the Rams' favor. But I do have this one being a really close game. I think the Rams are going to pull it out 33-30 on a game-winning field goal. And I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have an absolutely incredible game because the Rams pass rush is going to put a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones to throw, which is going to force him to either get the ball out quickly to Jonathan Taylor or hand it off to him more often. So, like I said, going to be an
Hey,
absolutely incredible game.
you're forgetting about Tyler Warren and Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I
We're
mean that's
looking at a
fair,
top
but it's
10 tight
not.
end,
But it's not
and we're
about them
looking at a top
if the O
15
line
wide receiver.
crumbles. If the O line crumbles to Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, it doesn't matter where Pittman is or where Warren is. Like,
You don't think Warren's going to be open 3, 4 yards out?
yeah,
He
he
get a
needs to
quick
be.
chuck.
And this is our
He
favorite thing in all of
this
football is
this is
tight
going to
ends and
be
quarterbacks.
this is going to be the game plan. I mean, Tyler Warren is going to be 100% the primary target during this game. They're going to rely on him very heavy. If you have him in fantasy, make sure you start him. And then Jonathan Taylor, he's leading the league in rush yards. I believe he has 330 something. So they're going to give it to Jonathan Taylor and they're going to dump it off to Tyler Warren. This is going to be a very short yardage, but very efficient playing offense from the Colts. And I think they get the ball to Michael Pittman's as much as they need to. And I think they get the ball primarily to Tyler Warren. Because if no one else is open, Tyler Warren.
Got to find a receiver downfield. It's always Tyler Warren. Something that I want to see the Colts do. I already talked about this earlier in the season or before preseason. I want to see them throw Tyler Warren at fullback. Like, let him run the ball. This guy was so good at fullback at Penn State in like random little packages. Throw him if you're at the goal line. All right, you're at the goal line. You're on the 1 yard line. Who would you rather have running a sneak? Daniel Jones, your quarterback, who might get hurt, or Tyler Warren, your big body? I'm taking Tyler Warren 10 out of 10 times.
Well, if they're at the goal line, they're probably just gonna either dump it off to JT or just chuck it to Warren for a 1 yard gain.
Nah, give it to Warren in the backfield. I believe in him.
All right, well, we'll see
It
how that one
worked at
plays.
Penn State. It worked. Why wouldn't it
But
work in the league?
dude, that's college. Come on. College is so much different.
Yo,
So much.
college games have to be the funniest things of all time. Like, why do I
Yeah,
look
because
on the
why?
app and it's 70-0?
Yeah, why is UCF or USF putting up 63 points?
College is
It's,
crazy, man.
but I mean, all
Um,
right, jumping into the next one. I got the Jags over the Niners. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is finally gonna figure it out. It's gonna take him 4 weeks, but I think he finally figures it out. I will be starting him this week. I mean, because if you look at the Niners, they've let I mean like JSN ran all over them. So I think that Brian Thomas Jr. is in that same caliber of a player as JSN, but he just hasn't shown it this season. We saw it last season. He was top three in receiving yards, only behind Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. So I'm hoping we get to see it again this year. And I think that if they force feed him the ball, he will figure it out because right now it's just looking like a confidence issue because he gets his hands on the ball, he drops it, or he's wide open and then he doesn't make the right move to go to the ball. It's just something very small, something just it's all on him. So once he figures that out, which I think will be this week, because they're going to need to rely on BTJ, they're going to need a very reliable wide receiver threat to get through this 49ers secondary. And I think Brian Thomas Jr. will be the guy.
Yeah, I actually agree with you fully on Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's going to have a really solid week, but I am on the opposite side of the coin, and I have the San Francisco 49ers taking this win. So as of right now, Jacksonville is 2-1, which puts them in a wild card spot. I just don't expect it to stay that way. I think I'm encouraged by the fact that their young players look good in terms of Bashal Tutin looks good, who Adam had pointed out to me way earlier, and I do believe now. Brenton Strange looks very solid. The only thing that we haven't seen yet is Travis Hunter's offensive production, but I'm actually pretty happy about the way that they're using him. Just not letting him come along too fast so that he doesn't like get hurt or get burnt out. I like it. Like he probably told Cohen and the entire front office said, "Hey, I'm only playing for you if you let me play both sides." And they probably said, "Hey, you want to play both sides? We're gonna have to ease you into it." And I think that's great. So I think that's a really solid outlook for the Jags. But with all that being said, Brock Purdy is back this week, and Trevor Lawrence is not a good quarterback. Trevor Lawrence has only completed 56% of his passes this season, which is good for a top 50 finish among the quarterbacks this season. There are only 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, and Trevor Lawrence is number 44 in completion percentage. Wow. He has a 4-4 touchdown interception ratio. It's only been 3 games, so you can't judge that too harshly, but he's been irresponsible with the ball. And yeah, I just think the Niners are the better team. Ricky Pearsall is number 4 in receiving yards. The Niners average the most pass yards in the league. And then you have CMC just carrying the whole wagon. I think the only thing that I'm really concerned about is the fact that Nick Bosa tore his ACL last week, and the pass rush is going to be nowhere near where it was before, even though it already kind of sucked. 3.7 QB hits per game, which was, I believe, 29th out of 32 teams, along with only 5 sacks in 3 games. Not a good pass rush already, and then Nick Bosa is gone, which is why I say that Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have a really solid game because Trevor Lawrence should have a bit more time this week to get the ball out. I still think they lose, but if I was you, I'm a fantasy football player. I'd be starting the Niners defense this week. I expect them to get a couple takeaways off of Trevor Lawrence. But yeah, fully agree with you there. Brian Thomas Jr. is a start for me this week.
Do we have any
Um,
more games lined up, or I think that
yeah,
was
just
it?
quickly glossing over the Baltimore KC game. We both picked Baltimore, but probably for different reasons. So tell me, why did you pick Baltimore?
I mean, like I said earlier, KC just doesn't have the receiving weapons to put up with a competent defense. And we know that Baltimore has a competent defense. I mean, they have been lacking a little bit. The Lions went crazy against them, and the Bills went crazy against them. But all that shows me is that Baltimore is going to be the team that bullies the bad team and then struggles against the good teams. which is exactly what we saw. We saw them beat the Browns. We're gonna see them beat the Chiefs because as of right now, the Chiefs are not a good team. As of right now, the Chiefs are a bad team just because of their offense and their defense has been lacking slightly.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, this is my game of the week. It's going to be a really fun game just because we got two of the best quarterbacks in the league, and the Ravens are coming off yet another strong offensive game where they put up more than 300 yards, they put up 30 points. They've been cooking these last couple of weeks, but last game, as of last game, before week three started, they were 10th in the league in the amount of QB pressure that they generated and the amount of QB pressure that they were allowing. Now, unfortunately, they gave up 7 sacks to the Lions last week, and that puts them really far down. So the Ravens' biggest thing is that they're going to have to really play much better on the offensive line to allow Lamar to have the space to get what he needs to get done. But I still think that they will get it done. And now they face the Kansas City Chiefs, who allow the most QB hits per game, so their defense should really get going. Yeah, it's going to be another high-powered offensive game, and the Chiefs, if they want any chance to win, are going to have to create turnovers and give Mahomes the ball back. Only problem is Lamar don't throw picks. Like they're going to have to generate a Derrick Henry fumble, which if he goes 4 in 4 games, like the math doesn't work there. There's no way he goes 4 in 4 games. If he
If he
does, I don't
goes
even know what to say.
if he goes 4-4, I'm I would be so shocked.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you say about Derrick? Like, all
You
right, if he goes 4 fumbles in 4 games, Rasheen Ali is the new starting running back for the Baltimore
No,
Ravens.
come on, bro. Come
I
on, come
promise.
on,
All
come
right, it's
on.
Justice Hill or Keaton Mitchell. Fine, whatever. Give it to one of those
No,
guys.
no,
I
come
like
on. I
Rasheen
mean,
Ali. I think he should be playing more, but
Derrick Henry can fumble as much as he likes as long as it's not
yeah,
gonna impact.
nobody's taking his starting spot.
As long as like if he fumbles on like if he hits like a 1 yard line fumble and then they lose the game like 2 weeks in a row, then you might have to pour some glue on his gloves or something.
You
But
still don't bench the guy because he's 6'2",
yeah,
250. You still
I
don't
mean
bench him.
he's one of the greatest running backs we'll ever see. So I mean that guy's never getting benched.
All right. I think that'll close out week 4 in terms of the games that we felt were close. There's gonna be some blowouts this week in terms of Buffalo over New Orleans, in
Oh, there's
terms
something I
of
wanted to point
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You had Minnesota over Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Is JD McCarthy back?
No, and I think Carson Wentz is playing better than JJ McCarthy can play right now, so that should tell you how I feel about JJ McCarthy.
That's it's gonna be so funny if JJ McCarthy loses his starting spot to a or basically if he gets replaced by a guy who's been in the league for a good amount of time, 2 years in a row.
I
First it was
mean,
Sam Darnold, and
yeah.
if it happens again with Carson Wentz, then I mean that's gonna be one of the funniest things ever. I mean, he might never start in the NFL again.
Dude, I forgot that JJ McCarthy was a rookie last season. He got replaced by Sam Darnold. I was like,
Exactly.
it's just his rookie season. He'll be fine. Let him sit behind a quarterback for a year. No, he already did that.
He already did that. I mean, and that was Sam Darnold's best season of his career, and look what JJ McCarthy learned from that.
One thing I will say about that matchup is that Jordan Mason is going to have an incredible week. He's probably one of my
Of
biggest
course.
smash starts of the week in terms of fantasy. But I think this Minnesota team is just too good overall. Their rush defense has been kind of inconsistent, but we all saw what their pass defense and Isaiah Rodgers did last week. And Aaron Rodgers has been quite the inconsistent quarterback this season. He's given up a couple interceptions. What the Pittsburgh defense is going to need to do is create turnovers off of Carson Wentz. And he's a pretty sure passer in terms he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. And Jordan Mason doesn't fumble the ball a lot. So I don't see Pittsburgh creating a lot of interceptions. And that's why I have Minnesota actually winning 27-10. I have them winning very comfortably, not even just winning.
I would say 13-10 Pittsburgh.
Ooh, low scoring. You
Yeah,
don't think
very low
this
scoring.
Minnesota defense can put up points? I mean, offense can put up points?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a repeat of last week. That's not happening.
Oh, I mean, definitely not. But oh, one thing I do want to say for all my betters and fantasy football players, Calvin Austin is going to score a garbage time touchdown this week, like he did last week. Minnesota puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is going to find his guy, and they will put some points on the board. Um, yeah, good recap.
What's next? Power rankings?
Yeah, think do you want to take over the power rankings for this week in terms of players, and then I'll go over some good fantasy football options?
Yes. So I'll just go over my top 10 for each position. Starting off with the QB power rankings, I think I mean, I feel very good about this list. So my QB power rankings are number one, Josh Allen, number two, Lamar Jackson, number three, Justin Herbert, number four, Baker Mayfield, number five, Patrick Mahomes, number six, Jared Goff, number seven, Jaden Daniels, number eight, Jordan Love, number nine, Daniel Jones, and number 10, Jalen Hurts.
I was gonna say Jalen Hurts didn't make the top 10. I don't blame you. Like I don't think that's a horrible take. He's not playing very
He's
good.
cutting it so close.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's not playing
listen,
very good.
you
But
can I was defending Jalen Hurts all offseason. I
yeah,
was defending Jalen Hurts all offseason. He's been disappointing me. Come on. Jalen Hurts, what are we doing, bro? Be
coming off
top
a Super Bowl
10,
win,
be top five. Oh, and then you have all the Eagles fans. Oh, he's still Super Bowl MVP. He's not playing like a Super Bowl MVP. You know who
ring
plays like a
check.
Super Bowl MVP? You know who plays like a Super Bowl MVP? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes plays like a Super Bowl MVP because the way he carries his team.
You said Super Bowl 2026 MVP, right?
I don't know. I'm talking about whatever year he won it in like 2024 or
2026.
something, 2025,
2026.
2025. The Chiefs are lucky to make playoffs this year. We know this. Come on. We know this.
I'm gonna ride on this hill until I die.
we're just gonna move past that. All right. Going to my wide receiver power rankings. I really like this list as well. So my wide receiver power rankings are Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Malik Neighbors, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, Nico Collins, and Rome Odunze.
I
I want
like
to
it.
point out Rome Odunze has been looking great. He's
Yeah, I
looking
like
like
Roma
he's going
doing
to
it.
take that number one spot. JSN looking great. Puka Nacua looking great. I might have to join you on Puka being a top three, but I mean, obviously JSN is going to be ahead of him. So, with that being said, running back power rankings. Number one, Jahmyr Gibbs. Number two, Bijan Robinson. Number three, James Cook. Number four, Saquon Barkley. Number five, Jonathan Taylor. He's been going absolutely insane. Number six, Derrick Henry. Number seven, Josh Jacobs. Number eight, David Montgomery. Number nine, Bucky Irving. Number 10, Kenneth Walker. I will say this, Derrick Henry dropped from, I think it was two or three to eight. I mean, you can't be the reason your team loses twice. Like
Twice
you just
out of
can't let that happen.
two out of two losses. Just can't. It just can't be like that.
Exactly. And then finally, for my tight end power rankings, I got number one, Tucker Kraft, number two, Brock Bowers, number three, Tyler Warren, number four, Sam Laporta, number five, Trey McBride, number six, Jake Ferguson, number seven, Jawan Johnson, number eight, Dalton Kincaid, number nine, Travis Kelce, number 10, Harold Fannin.
Harold Fannin Jr., baby. Harold Fannin Jr.
What you got to say about Harold Fannin? Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
I got a lot to say about Harold Fannin Jr. Harold Fannin Jr., a tight end, led the country in receiving last season in college. Led the country among wide receivers, among running backs, among quarterbacks who catch the ball. Harold Fannin Jr. was number one. This guy is an absolute reception monster. And guess what he's got waiting for him in the wings? It's a young quarterback. Whether it's Dylan Gabriel, whether it's Shador Sanders, whether it's Arch Manning next year, a young quarterback is going to have Harold Fannin Jr. as their tight end option. And you know how I feel about young quarterbacks and their tight ends. So I think Harold Fannin Jr. is going to have a really productive rest of season. And he looks really solid out there just to start. And I mean, he's a rookie. So he's got a really good outlook. I love the way he moves. I love the way I thought he was actually looking slower in the combine, but you know how combine stuff is. It's there to fool you. But I'm surprised he fell as far as he did. I thought he was the number three tight end in the draft this year, and he fell pretty far. And shout out Aronde Gadsden Jr. But Harold Fannin Jr. What an incredible player. Also, another thing about Harold Fannin Jr., the Browns played who this week? The Browns played the Detroit Lions, who just gave up, I believe it was almost 100 yards and two touchdowns to Mark Andrews. So Harold Fannin Jr. is actually going to be one of my smash starts this week. Can I go into my fantasy football smash starts this week?
Yeah, let's run it.
All right, cool. So, like I said, my tight end is going to be Harold Fannin Jr. Well, one of my tight ends. I think he's going to have a really solid game. He's just on the Browns, so that kind of limits his upside and puts him, right under that 20 points per game mark as his max. But we'll see. I think that another tight end that I really love this week is Trey McBride, who is averaging 27% target share with Kyler Murray, but averaging 34% of the total passing yards that Kyler Murray is putting out. With Marvin Harrison kind of falling off a little bit, Trey McBride really emerges as the 1A in this offense, and he's going to have a great week. Another guy who's also going to have a good week is Emeka Egbuka. He's the number one receiver in that offense for at least this week and potentially next week and the week after. Mike Evans is out at least 2 weeks, but Chris Godwin is back this week. So remains to be seen what Baker likes and what he doesn't in terms of Godwin and Egbuka have not played together before, and both have dominated the slot in years past. So I expect Godwin to step into the slot role while Emeka Egbuka plays the outside, which he's done an incredible job of to start the season. So Emeka Egbuka is going to have an incredible game this week. Jordan Mason, another one, absolute bell cow in this offense, and going to have a really solid matchup this week. And like I said, just going to have a really good game against a struggling Pittsburgh defense who's giving up a hell of a lot of points. They gave up over 100 yards to Brees Hall, so I expect Jordan Mason to do a lot better. Another big start that I have for this week is going to be Quinshon Judkins. The Detroit Lions gave up a good amount of yards to Derrick Henry last week, and I think with the way that Quinshon plays and emerging as a star, he's going to be used as a workhorse in this upcoming week, in which this is going to be a struggle match similar to the Packers matchup. It's going to be close, it's going to be gritty, it's going to be on the ground a lot. I expect Quinshon Judkins to have a good game. Maybe I'd go 80 yards, 2 receptions, and a touchdown. So that puts him at 16 points. Pretty solid in terms of projection. I think I've got one more start that I wanted to discuss, which is Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is going to have an absolutely insane game this week because, like I said previously, the Rams are going to put a lot of pass rush pressure on Daniel Jones. Adam thinks his dump off option will be Tyler Warren, and that's where my thought went originally as well. But I watched the Giants game last week where they played against the Chiefs, who play a similar put pressure on the quarterback, blitz the quarterback, spag style of defense. And you know where Daniel Jones went was Cam Scatterbo. And I was confused because I thought it would be Wan'Dale Robinson. I thought it would be Theo Johnson. It wasn't either one of them. They don't have time to get the ball out that quickly. So they got to get it to Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's going to rack up receptions this week, and he's going to have a really solid game on the ground. Last fantasy option that I'll talk about, the Niners defense. Going to have a great week this week. We just saw the Vikings they put up 35 points against me and I lost. Just how it goes.
Jeez.
Niners defense is going to eat this week against a rough Jacksonville Jaguars team that is having a lot of trouble. And that'll close out my fantasy football smash starts. We got a lot of good fantasy football advice coming out on Twitter. That's already on Twitter, so be sure to tap in. Anything else you want to add, Adam, before we sign off for the week?
No, I think I'm good.
Awesome. So we will be back with episode 13 next week. Be sure to tune in every single week for the best analysis, the best football talks, and some jokes about the Seahawks winning their division. Have a good
It's
week,
not jokes,
everyone.
bud.
We'll see you guys
It's
next
not
week.
jokes.